I know, I'm late.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Jamie.
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. I need to get with the Vic guy that knows stuff about WordPress and have him. I was looking at my friend's website for Twin City Kettlebells. It's kind of cool how he's got stuff on there. I was like, I wonder if that's even possible on something like what I've got going on. So I have to talk to that Vic guy because I heard he does these kind of things. Yeah. Have him look at it and what he thinks or what we can do to get more people involved in kettlebell sport. Woohoo! Or kettlebells in general. So you guys missed like a super fun workout yesterday. Nobody seemed to jump on board with kettlebell Keith Love last night. I guess it was just Keith and Patty that joined Carrie. But I hear that they thought it was a class favorite.
Does that mean a lot of sweat? I had to guess.
He posted something about that was the most he's ever sweated ever.
Oh.
So it was quite that intense, but okay, it could have been. But yeah, we made sure it was chock full of everything Keith loves. So that's all cool, and it was all Keith's favorite moves. So he might not talk to me for a while. I mean, he's not jumping on board to train tonight, so I might not. Oh, there he is. You're supposed to be.
He heard you.
He heard me, and it went, "What? No, we can do that." There he is. He was a super fan last night of the training and even has his name in it.
I love these days when we just get to watch Vic working while the rest of us work out.
What was that?
I'll stop in a second.
Vic's got to work while the rest of us work out.
That's right. We're just gonna watch his head the whole time.
It's very inspiring to just listen to you grunt and sweat and yeah.
Nice.
Whoa! All right, I'm feeling lots of love in the room.
Was that bad?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything bad at all.
Oh, you didn't hear anything bad at all? No?
No. That's the type of humor that Leah just would really enjoy, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Leah, you really enjoy that?
Yes. My mind didn't go to a bad place at all.
No.
Did anybody notice the photo I posted on Facebook that was from 2013? If you look at the young lady that is sitting on the stool in that photo, it was a throwback photo or a memory. You might be surprised to see that it is Miss Luann from 2013, and she looks completely different than what you're used to right now. Because a lot of people don't realize Luann used to never ever have long hair. I mean, she always wore it really short. For a while, she had one side shaved, the other side really long. So to see her with how long she's allowed her hair to get, which is I think the longest it's ever been, and then look at that throwback photo, it's kind of cool to see how things have evolved a little bit. Okay, Mr. Chuck is with us now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start our joint mobility because, you know, that's when the fun begins. So let's start looking side to side. Okay, look up into the corners. Speaking of Miss Luann, she placed first in her online kettlebell competition for both of her lifts. She had pretty impressive numbers. So she was recognized on their post for the results, which I got a copy of because I was supposed to lift and then I decided to break a finger. So
Which one was that?
it was the AKA kettlebell competition. It's the one that went for like 3 weeks, which kind of threw a wrench in it for me because it was biathlon and snatch. I probably should have just went ahead and threw a snatch together, but we were trying to get the car together that week, so I was doing other things. And then the week that for one arm long cycle we were gone, so it's kind of hard to get those recorded and posted. And then I planned on, if I didn't do that, I was going to do marathon, and then I broke my finger just before we left. So yeah, probably not really wanting to do a half an hour lift until I figure out how that's all gonna work out.
Right.
We'll practice marathon tonight for the heck of it. Which, you know, I'm sure Mr. Vick's gonna be happy, especially after his little post of the Toy Story guy with little skinny arms after Tuesday. Yeah, that was the little skinny arms. That was cute. I like that. And my apologies yesterday. I try to do those video links really quickly. So for whatever reason, Facebook has changed how I do my searches and stuff again. So when I went to look for the page, I thought I had grabbed our Zoom page. And of course, I grabbed the team page, and that's where the link went for yesterday's. So I happened to catch that like 2 minutes before you guys were supposed to start, and then had to share it over there. And yeah, that was fun. So, yep. Really haven't posted anything on the challenge in a while. I've been super busy trying to get stuff done. And speaking of which, I had one of my in-person people. They came to our competition in April, and they were looking to see what we plan on doing sometime this summer or what have you for a competition left. Now I know I posted a couple that are still online, still doing online submissions. I don't know if anybody's interested in doing like Crazy Monkey. And I think there was another one that I posted that we can do, or what we can do is we can do a throwback to how we used to do this back before there was competitions online and everywhere, because there's not anything really close in person right now, and at least not what I'm seeing. I think Vegas is the last week of July. If anybody wants to go to Vegas and do Team USA, that's a qualification for one of the other federations. Or I think the first weekend in August, which I mentioned I think a week ago, is in St. Petersburg, Florida area, which is down by our friend Vic, so we can all go and crash at Vic's house and go to a kettlebell competition. I'm sure he'll be like super excited about that. So we can all crash in his apartment and then go to a kettlebell competition and eat. Of course, I, just kind of like volunteered him for that. So I'm sure I'll get a message, hey! But that's in August, and that's going to be an in-person one, but it is also in Florida. I've been looking for other things locally, because the one that was supposed to be for qualifying for Team USA. That's one of the ones that they moved to Vegas, which I don't know if a lot of people have that kind of time or what have you, but it'd probably be a really cool thing to go do. Let's do uppercuts. And then in the fall, Minnesota, Twin Cities is having, my friend is having his first competition out there for Twin Cities Kettlebell Club. So that'll be in Minnesota. I'm not sure if that's something you would want to drive to, It's a little bit of a drive out to Minnesota, to the Twin Cities, but maybe we can look into some cheap flights because Grand Rapids to Minnesota is a hop, skip, and you're there kind of a day. So it's actually a pretty direct flight and something maybe we can discuss and get together. But to my other thought, I was thinking about throwing a virtual meet. So basically, it would be in person for those that want to test to see how they're doing. We can also throw up a Zoom link for anybody that wants to compete and just kind of get everybody together and lifting because we're doing really great. And then, so just something to think about because I have some new people in person that really would like to come and lift because they've been practicing. So I'd like to see how they are doing. I have a couple youth that would like to see. Grant would like to beat his 5-minute record. So there's
I'd be up for a meet with you.
pardon?
I'd be up for a meet with you. Come over
Okay.
and see.
Yeah, because it would be like something we just do here at the house, probably in the garage with lots of fans.
Right.
You know, I've got platforms and I seem to know somebody that has quite a few kettlebells, so that wouldn't be that hard to come up with bells. And then just get together just so that we can lift and see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, for our warm up, let's do 10. You want to do 10 good mornings, and then let's go ahead and come down and just do a wide air squat. So let's 10 good mornings. Well, maybe we can get Chuck to come later in October. Oh, see? October. So home and then we'll kidnap him and take him to Twin Cities. Yeah, because Jordan's a pretty cool guy. It's the website I was looking at, some of the stuff that he's doing. He's taking time to do like some podcasts. I'd like to learn how to post on Instagram, but I think you have to use your phone. Memory on my phone is getting pretty full. Need to offload some stuff. All right, we're gonna go 2 rounds of that. So let's go back to our good morning. I actually need to try to get a different phone, but I don't know about that. Okay, and then and shake those out. All right, for our nice little 10-minute warm up, you're gonna grab a lighter bell. I'll grab this one for right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do our 10-minute warm up set for at least 8 minutes. And then we're going to proceed. Tonight's training is going to be marathon. So basically it's multiple hand switches. So how marathon usually works is people pick a lift and you have to go for time. What a lot of people don't understand about marathon is if during the 30-minute, there's 1-hour marathon, and I think there's even 2-hour marathons. If you are to put the bell down before your time is up, your whole set is null and void. So you have to get really good at resting and not doing that. So let's go ahead. Our first move, we got 15 seconds. We're going to do alternating swings. So get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, and begin.
3, 2,
Okay.
1.
Let's go ahead and do jerks. So you want to get underneath it and stand up. So you bump and stand up. Bump, stand up. Switch.
3, 2, 1.
So Vic, you want your elbow to rest on your side. You come up with your hips. It launches the bell. Nice whack out. And then let the weight of the bell do the drop down. Okay.
Three, 2, 1.
Okay, snatch.
Three,
Switch.
2, 1.
Okay,
3,
bottoms up.
1.
You get really ambitious. Did you press? Not judging.
I know what I can do.
Not judging. Switch.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
And goblet.
Three, 2, 1.
And hydrate. It feels especially heavy tonight. Okay, so get your hydration. Now with marathon, you can do single bell or double bell. You choose. And there's actually a variety of lifts. You can do jerk, one arm long cycle, snatch, or snatch to half snatch. So kind of decide what you want for your your training. Liz already picked her weight. I'm going to give the 16 another run for its money to see how it goes. Gonna get my trusty, dusty kettlebell lifting belt. Get much hydration as you can. If you do marathon in person, you can actually have a teammate readily available to either help you chalk if you would like, give you a towel, or to give you water. So keep that in mind. If you need to grab water at this time, have it close by. You always can stop mid-lift and grab it, because as you see, I don't have any friends or anybody nearby, so kind of hard to do that.
Can that friend help keep
All
the
right.
bells off the deck for you?
That,
Can that friend help keep the bells off the deck for you if you want to take a break?
yeah. So, okay.
How long is a marathon?
What's that?
How long is a marathon?
Marathon, there's a couple different time limits. There's 30-minute, that's the shortest. There's an hour, and they even have 2-hour marathons. So there's people out there who think it's really fun to get on a platform and lift for up to 2 hours. The most I have done is an hour. I believe I've done hour marathon to date maybe 4 times now. I like the half an hour. It's still a battle as far as I'm concerned, because being a competition lifter, you kind of want to keep your pace, especially for that first 10 minutes. And then you have to kind of bargain from there with what you want to do or what you can do to get that in. We are not going to do a full marathon. We are just doing marathon training. So with that being said, I'm not telling you how long we're going to go. because I'm cute like that. What I I am too. Anyways, remember now there's a couple different mindsets when you marathon. Some people like to get into a rep count. Kind of keeps your mind occupied, keeps you off the time. So they'll count 10 reps and then they'll switch every 10 reps. So there's that mindset. The other one is people just switch every minute and the minute. Some people play other little games where they'll go so much for like the first 10 minutes. I personally like the minute, every minute and the minute, unless I'm competing. And then I usually, depending on my training, try to go every 10 reps for at least the first 20, just to get a few extra in there, because that last 10 minutes is brutal. All right, so does everybody have their weapon of choice? I'm sure Mr. Keith is doing something with the 24 kilo again.
16 snatch.
Oh, okay. That's good. Because, you know, he always seems to think, you know, 24 kilo single bell jerk's a really fun time. All right, so remember though, you can also, if you want, you can do snatch, come up and do half snatch. That is actual lift for the marathon if you don't want to complete full snatch. And we are counting down. So take your lift. 5,
3,
4, 3, 2,
1.
and begin. I'm doing one arm long cycle.
Three, two,
Switch.
1. Three, two, 1.
Switch. Switch.
Three, two, 1.
Switch.
3, 2, 1.
Switch.
3, 2, 1. Three, 2, 1.
Switch.
Three,
Switch.
2, 1.
Switch.
3, 2, 1.
Switch.
3, 2, 1. Three,
Switch.
2, 1. 3,
Switch.
2, 1. Three, 2, 1.
Switch.
Three, 2,
Switch.
1.
Switch.
3, 2, 1.
Switch.
3, 2, 1. Three,
Switch.
2, 1.
Switch.
3, 2, 1. Three, 2, 1.
Dun, 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 dun. So how'd that snatch go?
Not bad. I thought everyone looked effortless.
I felt like I was slow, very, very slow.
Leah, how did that feel for you?
Huh?
Leah, how was that for you?
I felt slow too. Oh, I don't know why.
My feet's got
That's
to
18 minutes.
How was that?
18 minutes, is that what we did?
About 20.
20, nice.
I did 20 minutes. Fun times, kids. Fun times. So you're 10 minutes short of having your first marathon, and you've never done marathon before. So that's actually means you're pretty close, and that's pretty doable. With marathon training, we don't normally add a lot of BPP because you just put the central nervous system through its paces doing a longer set. So what we're going to do is, I know this breaks everybody's heart, but we're going to go right to foam rolling because I know Vic really wanted to do a bunch of bell burpees with off the deck cleans with a squat with a thrust so that he could celebrate Keith Day yesterday. Because Carrie was even considered enough, because I called them man makers when I wrote out the program, but then she called them or they makers. So they're not associated with any particular. So they were the them or they makers. So I did notice that. I thought that was cute because I know that's a new thing. You know, if you don't want to associate with whatever, and yeah, it's all good. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and grab our foam roller and get our foam roller because you really want to roll out those muscles that we just worked for that length of time. Even though it's only a 20-minute set instead of 30, it is still a little bit longer.
So the rest of you are all seasoned professionals, but Vic, was that the longest set you have ever done?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
I was dying in case you didn't notice.
Victorious. So when you were doing the little noodle arm thing or whatever, how was that?
That's gonna be the same.
Yeah, let me know how that works for you. You know, if you feel that. Because what's kind of funny is you will also if you'll feel it in your gluteus maximus. Did you do the snatch or the long cycle? You're doing snatch though, weren't you?
I did, but I was switching like every 15 seconds towards the end.
No, you know, that's one of the things you might have to do. What I try to do is I try to have that last couple minute burst. And then sometimes I start the burst a little too early and I get to the left arm and left arm just goes, yeah, about that. There's your 3 reps. Now switch back. And it's like, oh, you know, I like to get that burst that I can get on the right. And yeah, my finger is letting me know we did 20 minutes. Oh, that means that the feelings come back in it. Ooh. So yeah, it's kind of feeling a little special right now.
Ow.
I kind of wonder how close it is to actually being healed, considering I, you know, have not really followed any of my protocols. Because right away when he was doing the exam on it, I'm like, well, I can still do kettlebells, right? He's like, yeah, you can still do, you know, some 2-handed swings and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks. He goes, but if you notice it's starting to stress it or anything, you need to not and take a break. And I was like, oh, you don't know me very well, do you?
How'd you hurt it?
You know, the slats on your garage door, you know, like it folds up.
Yes.
I grabbed the pole barn garage door and went to pull it closed. And normally I do that from the inside because there's handles and stuff for that. And for whatever reason, I thought I could just take my hand and bring it down because we were going to go inside. And I caught my finger between 2 of the slats and the whole weight of the garage door came down and it come all the way to the ground with my finger smashed between the 2 slats. So then I had to drop everything I had in my other hand and pick it up and get my finger out of there. By this time, it's been smashed for a good minute. And when I come out, it was actually pretty flat on the end. I mean, it was like all crunched up and yeah, it looked really cute.
Ow.
So then I proceeded to cut the circulation off to it because I didn't want all the blood to pool underneath my nail.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is gonna hurt when I actually feel it. And so then I kept looking at it and it's like, well, it was turning funky colors because it was flat and all crinkled and stuff from being smashed. So then I sat in the pole barn and actually popped all the dents out of my finger.
Oh my God.
And then I told Carl, oh, it'll be fine. And then about 1 o'clock in the morning, I realized that because it was really black and blue. I mean, it was bad. And it just kept swelling. And I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go in because it was starting to go down further into my finger. And I was like, yeah, that's probably not a good sign or whatever. So I went in to the med station Sunday morning. I was the very first person through the door. And the tech, because they, you're still doing COVID protocol. So he's typing stuff into this really old IBM ThinkPad, which I thought was so funny because I've seen so many of those in the last few weeks. Everybody still uses them old IBM laptops because they must just last forever or whatever. And I've got like 3 or 4 of them in a bag that we used to use for our car to do tuning. So he like asked me, he goes, so what did you do? And I go like this, and I flipped him off. And he takes one look at it, and he couldn't type fast enough to get me in the door. And he's just like, ugh. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are a bunch of wimps. So my male nurse comes in to do my, vitals and all that. And he's like, so what did you do? And I hold up my finger, and next thing you know, he's getting in the cupboard. And he gets a big ice pack out and he breaks the ice pack and he hides my finger in the ice pack. And he's like, oh my gosh, that is so swollen. It must really hurt. And I'm like, it's numb. I can't feel anything. It's completely numb. So then he proceeds to ask me how bad the pain is. And I'm like, it's numb. I have no idea. Absolutely not. So he writes down 8. It was 8. And I'm like, I didn't say 8, but if it makes you feel better. Then the doctor comes in, and the first thing he says is, well, I'd really like to drill a hole in your nail to release some of that pressure there, and then it'll help it heal and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay. So then he proceeds to pull out a soldering gun, because that's what they use now, and lets the soldering gun heat up. So it's got a nice glowing red tip, and he just kept touching my nail until it went through and then released some of the pressure, and it proceeded to do that for a while. So, but I got taken down to x-ray, and the lady that did my x-ray, I asked her as she was doing it, I go, so did I break it? And she goes, well, I don't really read them. And I'm like, yeah, okay, did I break it?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, you broke the tip.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay. And she goes, that's going to be really hard to heal because of where it's at, because you're going to hit it on everything. So.
Oh. So did you lose your nail then?
No, actually, the nail's coming back. He said that the blood will actually dissipate out from underneath it because they did that. And it actually has somewhat, and it'll just keep getting lighter and lighter until it's back to natural color. It won't have to grow out or anything.
Okay.
I just have to wait for that nail bed because the other thing I didn't realize, but I guess, people don't understand that your nails are pretty much, skin, just a little bit harder, that when you do something like that, that's considered an open fracture because it's exposed to like the air and stuff. So I had to be on antibiotics for 7 days to make sure I didn't get an infection in my finger.
Oh.
So that was like, oh, cool. But
wow.
Yeah, they were fun antibiotics too.
Well, that's a good thing then.
There's no such thing. So yeah, it was kind of, and then it was cute because the doctor that treated me, he must have just got out of med school. Actually, he was a physician's assistant. So I don't think he'd been graduated very long. And how he was talking to me like I was like some senile old fart, because he's like, so what I really need you to do is I need you to put the split on and keep the split on your finger. And then that needs to be there during the course of the day. But when you watch TV, you can take the splint off. And it was just different while he was explaining stuff to me. And I'm like, do I look like I'm, you know? It was cute. Either that or he wants to be a kid's doctor or something. So, but yeah, they were really nice. I mean, they were super nice because like the original guy, the nurse that saw me, he's just like, he goes, it looks like you're dehydrated. So he went and got me a big cup of ice water while I was waiting. And I just thought they kind of went above and beyond, you know, for being a med station per se. But that was Spectrum over on 68th Street in Division, the urgent care. But yeah, so, and then, you know, of course I get a phone call from my doctor wanting to know what I did. And I was like, oh, you know, I thought I'd try to chop one of my fingers off and didn't quite succeed.
You
So,
going back to work, Chuck?
Yep.
you know, it almost sounded like you said woodchuck. So, woodchuck,
Going back to woodchuck.
woodchuck,
Woodchuck wood.
woodchuck, yeah, wood, or if Chuck could woodchuck, or how's that? If Chuck could wood, or Chuck wood, or how's that? Woodchuck, Chuck wood, something like that. Anyway.
Woodchuck, Chuck wood.
There you go. He
All right,
did it.
have a good night, everybody.
All right, everybody have a great one. I will post a link to the correct site for upper and core because I think Vic needs to do a little core work tomorrow because I think he needs to feel his abdominals for the weekend.
Sure, I'm up for it.
All right, and then I'll send you the link to my webpage and you can let me know what you think and all that stuff and maybe we'll get together and do something about that. So.
Great. I sent you my email and number.
Pardon?
I sent you my email and number on Messenger.
All right. No problem. Have a great one.
Good night, guys and ladies.